Yo, Marcus, low budget wisdom, welcome back. So, purpose. How do I find my purpose in life? What do I have got to do? What do I need to achieve? What do I have to? What kind of like techniques and what kind of stuff and structured routine that I can do in order to achieve success and to find my purpose? To be a successful person in this lifetime. What was I sent here to do? Well, the paradoxical thing is when we stop focusing so much on what our purpose is supposed to be and how we should gain success, then it comes much more easily. It comes as some kind of intuitive knowing within yourself that guides you to do your next steps in order to achieve your ultimate purpose and then be successful in that thing. Whatever that may be, it does not depend and is what is depicted in like social media and what society's standards are of success. That's mainstream, man. If everybody achieves what social media depicts as success and their purpose, having nice cars, have model girlfriends, and have a five-figure, six-figure income, live in certain cities. If everybody does that, then it's not even special anymore. The reason why they are able to do that, and the reason why these kind of posts and feed on your internet social media accounts gets pushed onto you on your explore page and it gets recommended to you. The reason why it happens is because everybody else other than you thinks that's success. That's not success, but everybody else thinks that is, right? We don't know what these people, how they were brought up, what their family backgrounds were, and so to them there is a type of blissful arrogance and that stems from a certain type of ignorance, right? Not everybody is meant, to learn the lessons of being born in wealth, staying in some New York City penthouse on the highest floor, and Donald Trump's your neighbor. Not everyone is supposed to come down here to be at that level of rich. And also, for better or for worse, not everybody is meant to be born dirt poor, living in some slums where they don't know if one day they will, get robbed and get killed, or that's kind of like heavy, man. So you have extremes. You have, we can see it, for the scientific people, we can see it as like a bell curve, right? Is that an inverted bell curve, or I think it's called a bell curve, right? So at the normal, the bell curve bulges in the middle, right? Wealth on this x-axis, and then and amount of people that exist, right, on the basically the population of the earth, right? Bell curve. So on the x-axis you have wealth and the amount of people on the y-axis. So like a bell curve, normal distribution, most majority of people exist around this middle income kind of wealth level, right? It is, don't compare it, country to country or city to city, but you get a point. You know what I'm talking about. So people at the highest end of wealth, sometimes they flaunt all these things and post on social media and their models and their you know F1 drivers, soccer superstars, and all that. that is a different level of wealth. And not everybody is supposed to achieve that kind of wealth in order to realize their purpose, to fulfill their God-given purposes, a universal, purpose to play out their karma as their individual self. So wealth, being so wealthy, has their own challenges. They have their own karmas to deal with. It's not easy, right? You don't know if people like you for who you are, or they're just trying to be friends with you, try to get them, try to get you to get them pregnant, or for the guys. But for the girls, you don't know if your sisters, or your is a mumbo jumbo. They have their own sets of karma to play out, as compared to people at the lower end of the bell curve. But wow, they live in luxury, and it's better than sleeping on the ground, better than sleeping in the slums. Yeah, I get it, but that's not my point. Is they are here to learn something and to experience something that can only be experienced in that kind of scenario, right? Some people in the slums, maybe their purpose is to experience being dirt poor and then rising to wealth, right? There are lessons and karma and karmic relationships that go with that. And you could have people at the extreme level of wealth suddenly become a fallen star, and from extreme wealth to becoming broke, right? That has its own set of karmic relationships and their own set of difficulties and challenges and purposes that had to happen that way. The universe plays out, expresses itself through fragmenting different people into different bodies and people and perspective and experiences and challenges and difficulties and successes and purposes, right? So the point of this video is to tell you that don't feel so guilty or shameful or feeling down and depressed for not achieving what you think is supposed to be success, right? We're all born with different sets of downloads and software, and we all programmed differently. An NBA player, he is programmed to be an NBA player. For that particular person's a career and their life purpose and how their destiny plays out, they can never be an F1 driver, for example, right? That's a good example. They're not, because they're not programmed to do that. They're not programmed to come down to earth to experience being an F1 driver. That's why they are a NBA player, right? A basketball player. So you have your own purpose, and the only way to find your purpose is to paradoxically to let go of needing to have one. Because if we spend so much time and effort and mental energy, we spend so much of our intellectual capacity to try to figure out, using the mind's limited power, try to figure out, okay, what am I supposed to do? What are my next steps that I can achieve in order to find my purpose and to be successful doing that thing? The more we spend our mental capacity in doing that, which is already limited, the further away we'll be from that. Because our minds have a limited capacity of energy and how much it can work every single day or any given moment. So trying to force ourselves to find what we need to do next, and oh, I gotta toil, and I gotta achieve and all that, it's just going to block your own mind, or your subconscious mind from working at its optimal level. The state of flow is called the state of flow because you're not blocking it. You're not consciously blocking the higher part of your mind, the higher self, the subconscious mind, in receiving the downloads and the data and the energy around you to guide you intuitively, which we all have, to go and do certain things that will help us align and live fully to our purpose. Our minds are our greatest enemy sometimes. If we overthink and we have a solid picture of what success looks like. Oh, I have to be the same as the person that I saw on social media, having models as girlfriends and actors as boyfriends, and driving a certain sports car, supercar, and if you are meant to live that life, you will, because that's your purpose, and it will happen automatically. We do not have control over that. So don't feel like a failure. You don't have to feel like a failure for not, for not achieving success as easily as they have, because it's not in your destiny. It's not in your life purpose to achieve that kind of wealth, to live that kind of life. And so allow your brain, by having good habits, eating as best as you possibly can, sleeping as well as you possibly can, be in environments that are healthy for you as best as you can. And if you can't, then maybe there are some lessons that need to be learned. Maybe you have to, suffer the bitterness of whatever reality you're living in for some time, so that you realize how good you had it, or so that when you have, good luck, when it's time for you to propel forward and achieve success, then you can appreciate it much, much more, and be grateful for the success that you have, that is coming along. Right? You got to taste the bitter and the negative aspects of life before you can truly understand what good means. You got to eat shitty food and know what shitty food tastes like before you can appreciate and understand what fine dining tastes like. People born in wealth, they have no concept of anything less than the 5-star meals for breakfast, for lunch, for dinner, 24/7. I may be over exaggerating a bit, but I'm trying to drive a point home, right? So stop blocking your mind from receiving, because our minds are a receiver. You think you create the thoughts? No, it has been created. It's around you. It's an energetic field. Like Tesla once said. I don't think I can remember the exact quote. If you want to understand the universe, think in terms of vibration, frequency, and energy, something along those lines. Nikola Tesla said that, right? So treat your mind as an antenna that receives information from whatever is around us, the ether, some people call it, right? The energy around you, chi, whatever people call it nowadays, but the ether, the surrounding energy, you gotta, tune into that frequency. And even if you do not, There is no technique to this. You just intuitively know how to, calm yourself down. Maybe different things work for different people. Maybe you need to meditate a little bit more, or maybe you just need to sit quietly, in your room and just relax your mind to open yourself up and surrender to the greater force, the greater universal force that is running the show, that is pushing us, that is moving us to achieve what we need to achieve in order to learn our lessons. And if you don't, it probably will happen anyway. It probably will happen exactly as it is intended to anyway. It is just a matter of whether or not you're going to suffer through it, or you're going to, basically ride with it. So there's no one singular, hard and fast rule to kind of achieve whatever you want to achieve in life, because part of it is just think about it, right? How did you get to where you are now? If it's not for some coincidental event that the universe planned out and served to you on a silver platter, how did you just think back, like, to the past? Like, how did you get to where you are today? For better or for worse, how did you get to where you are today? You used your willpower and your intellectual prowess to force things to happen? You think you got the opportunity to success, to this particular career or job, or you met this certain person, and then now you're married to that person, and you know you think all that is because of your willpower? You think you did it? Nah, man. We don't do much. We are the experiencer, or maybe we have free will in a sense that between two important canon events, we have some leeway and some free will along the lines to, do some side quests, to do some small aspects, some small decisions, and even then, you're given limited amount of choices, right? You're served, even if those side quests feel like it's some form of free will. You're served on a silver platter. Okay, you have some options for this side quest. Option A, option B, option C, option D. That's it. You can't run too far away from this, because if you do, then you will not be able to meet your next point of the canon event. You won't be able to meet this other person if you choose outside of these four options: A, B, C, and D. Right? So don't worry about it. Right? Like, don't feel so shameful and guilty for not achieving what your mind thinks is supposed to be success. Don't feel bad because some other people achieve what you have always dreamed of achieving before you do, or if they are younger and they achieve something greater than what you have always dreamt of, and then you feel those things. Yeah, is the basic human emotions to feel jealousy, anger, irritation, happiness and joy. Don't forget the good part. Don't forget the good memories that you have. So just chill out, man. If you're going through something right now, go through it. And then after that difficult event or challenge in your life has passed, you will probably look back and you think to yourself, man, that was a ride. I would probably do that again. I would probably do that again, because if I did not go through those challenges and difficulties in my past, then I would not be who I am today. I would not become who I am destined to become, and I would not be here right now doing whatever I need to do. That is part of your purpose. So, yeah, I think I've said everything I've wanted to say. Ciao. Thanks for watching, guys. Leave a comment, subscribe if you like this video and want more. Oh God, it's 20 minutes. Ciao, man. Take care.